Yeah, we were kind of kept in the loop from even the evening before. You know, it was after midnight, early morning. Text messages with Tommy, kind of keeping us aware of the situation. I was under the impression that they would get off the ground early morning and at some point be back in Detroit ready to play. So our approach was the same. You know, had our meetings. You know, went to shoot around the whole nine, and at that point it was a waiting game. So it wasn't until maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon before we knew for sure they weren't going to make it. And then we had talked in the morning about contingency plans, so those were already in the works. And then just trying to figure out logistically how could we get home as soon as possible.
What'd you make of having an extra day of practice? Was this a planned day of practice? Or
This was. No, this was. It was a planned day. Obviously, knowing the schedule we have, you know, back to back, this was going to be a light day regardless whether we played last night or not. But you know, it's tough when you feel like you wasted a day, you know, not having an opportunity to get up and down yesterday. And at some point, we'll make that game up. So it's an added travel day. But it is what it is, and we'll just wait to see when the schedule comes out and how we can fit it in.
Did everybody go today?
Yes.
Should be good to go tomorrow.
Should be, yes.
Have you seen Denny be able to take different types of shots over the last few games than what he did previously?
Probably more paint finishes, you know, and I think that's just him playing downhill a little bit more, whether it's pick and roll or transition, being more aggressive about getting downhill. He's done a better job in general of finishing right and left hand, getting fouled, making free throws. So there's a level of aggression, I think, but it's not, in general, a different type of shot.
Where guys like to shoot on the floor, does that factor into when you put a lineup together to try to prevent overlap?
Yes and no. I think it's how a guy plays and complements the group more so than the specific areas on the floor where a guy wants his shots. You know, you need a little bit more space maybe with certain lineups, a little bit more ball movement with others. But I don't think it's necessarily, you know, where guys prefer to get their specific shots.
We've all kind of watched Denny find his rhythm as of late. Elaborate on what you've seen from him and kind of how impressive he's looked in his last few games.
Yeah, he's playing very well. Obviously, you know, had two, you know, big games for himself personally. You know, career high in points, career high in rebounds in two separate games. I think a lot of it's just opportunity. You know, I think since the trade has given him more minutes, probably more minutes at his natural position. And it gives that unit kind of balance where he can be more of a facilitator and a playmaker. A bit of a logjam before, so I think this has just opened up opportunity for him.
We're seeing them have fun out there.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot more smiles out there. Are you seeing
Well, it helps
that?
when you win, yeah. But I think just the way we're playing, and you know, guys are rooting for each other. They're happy to see him succeed. You know, he struggled at times early in the year and maybe battled a little confidence, but that's shifted. So he's playing with a level of confidence and aggression. He's benefited from that, and the guys I think are, you know, really buying into him playing the way he's played.
Coach, with Lillard averaging 39 over the last 11 games and also 15 attempts from the line, what kinds of things are you looking to do to disrupt the rhythm that he's been
All
in
types
so
of things,
far?
you know. He's a tough out. You know, obviously he's got the ability to, once you cross half court, he's live. He can shoot it from deep. He's got, you know, incredible handle. He's shifty. He can get downhill, playing pick and roll, and he's a master at generating free throws. So can he take something away? You know, we're gonna have to show different looks, try to get the ball out of his hands at times. You know, change our matchups and put size on the ball. You know, you're not going to stop him. You just try to limit the easy ones, limit the free throws if you can. But yeah, it's a guard-heavy influence tomorrow with him and Simons. And who knows if those other guys will be active? But they put so much pressure on you that, you know, from the three, their ability to play downhill as well. So it's going to be a challenge, but we'll definitely have to junk the game up a bit.
And with the offensive spacing that they provide for a game to get those opportunities, they run their horns so far up.
Yeah.
So watching them last night, they play so high up. And how does that impact the way that you play defense schematically?
Well, I mean, part of it is, you know, at the point of the screen, can you impact the ball without fouling? At times you're going to get the ball out of his hands, and with that amount of space, somebody's going to be open. So being able to fly around, cover for each other, find ways to get other guys off the line, But it's it's not going to be perfect. We're going to have to force him to miss, but getting the ball out of his hands is going to be a priority.
Can you expand on what you mean by Denny in his natural position?
Well, I think he's a 4-3, and his ability to play off the bounce and play pick and rolls is unique for a guy that size. But he's not a quick catch and shoot guy. He's not a guy that's going to operate off a ton of pin downs. He's done a better job of making the spot three. I think he's shooting versus the unders and pick and roll with a little bit more confidence. That's going to be an area of growth for him throughout this season. So I think it's just more, small gains in different areas for him that have really paid off. And the biggest, I think, has been his finishing in the paint.
Would you like? Yeah, I don't mean to be facetious about this, but would you like to see him dunk on some of these, considering that it's easier to
2
miss?
points is 2 points. I mean, however he finishes, I think the most important piece is getting there and finishing with efficiency.
So speaking of Denny, what's your thoughts on the Turbo nickname?
Whatever it takes. Guys have bought into it, and I think his teammates have rallied behind that. So it's been fun. They get some going. So as long as it's working, we'll stay with it.
I do want to ask you about tomorrow night, Black History Month, and they're kicking it off with several celebrations. Why is it so important for an organization like this to do that tomorrow?
Well, I think in general, it's I think it gets glossed over because you look at it in the month of February, it's pointed out, and I think it's important to acknowledge it. But it's also American history, and the fact that it's probably overlooked for 11 other months out of the year is systemically a problem. I think it's just got to be more ingrained to what people are taught and made aware of, that there have been contributions throughout history that oftentimes get overlooked. So it's great that the organization, obviously in this community, makes it a point of issue to celebrate and acknowledge. But I think it's also a situation where we across the board in this country need to take notice that it can't go overlooked for 11 months and then just highlighted for 28, 29 days.
It's been a long week, I would say. Just picking up everything, learning my teammates, learning the playbook, like you said. It's been a fast pace for it, but I'm handling everything pretty well. Everything's been smooth. Everything's really been smooth. Everybody's been helping me, welcoming me in. The transfer has been smooth. This is my first time in Washington since the trade. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm just excited, ready to work.
Your shooting percentages have been much higher like the last 17, 18 games. Did something change? Did you turn a corner? What do you attribute that to?
Just the rhythm of the game. I think the flow of the game, just getting that back. Obviously, I was out last year with the injury. And just able to get those game reps, NCs and game reps in game is a lot different from practices and working out and things like that. So just getting the rhythm down.
Who specifically has helped you the most in your transition here?
Who helps me the most? Greg Kershaw. I gotta give it to him. He's been great. He's been unbelievable, helping me get settled in and everything, the family and everything. So it's been good.
What about on the court?
On the court. Probably 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡 and 𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗧. Those two, obviously we play the same position, so they've been kind of giving me the playbook and spots position, things like that, where to be. So it's been good. They've been helping me a lot.
What's been your biggest adjustment so far on the court?
On the court, the biggest adjustment for me is just learning the playbook. Obviously, sometimes we come down to transition, we get a stop. It's the flow of the game, but then when it's half court and we run a set on the fly, they have to kind of point and tell me where to go. So that's been an adjustment, but I'm picking it up.
Is there any teammates or coaches that you knew of here before you joined?
Nope. It's my first time working with everyone here. Yep.
Hey Kendrick, what's this fans that's not familiar with the game? What can you bring to the squad?
Just some aggressiveness on both ends of the floor. Obviously, use my quicknesses and speed to get into ball handlers, perimeter defense, and just bring my ability to score the ball.
With the
Play make.
The team on the 6-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about the vibe of the team so far? What it's been like being a Wizard?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's been great so far. That 6-game winning streak, I came in on 3 or 4. So that's been great. The vibe has been great. A lot of hardworking guys, We have a lot of fun, but obviously the details and things matter, stuff like that. So it's been fun. Love working with this group.